Good morning, everybody. My name is Andrew Gallagher. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing here at A&K Europe in the Cotswolds. I just wanted to provide you with a bit of an update of the ease as we ease out of lockdown here in Europe. We're in a fortunate position here at A&K in Europe, and the fact that we cover 26 countries, we realize it's a bit of a minefield when you're trying to find relevant information as we're looking to advise our clients, and you'll want to know, where's the best countries to start traveling to first. And so I wanted to provide you with this update of the lockdown here, and I'm going to attempt to guide you through this minefield of information and provide you with a concise update of the current situation. So the good news is many European countries appear to have passed through the peak of the virus. The slowing of reported cases has been followed carefully by lifting some of the restrictions for people and businesses throughout Europe. At A&K, we're starting to think about what the future of travel will look like and the trips that we might be able to start think about taking first. We've gone and put a lot of planning in place over the last 8 weeks of what is going to be the new normal and what destinations can we start looking at to be able to start working with you on for your clients. While it's currently not safe to travel, and different countries are still at different stages as lockdown laws begin to change, we'll be bringing you a regularly updated list of countries in Europe that are beginning to alter their restrictions. And those are the opening their borders to travellers first. So you can speak with our teams here in the Cotswolds, Florence, Madrid, or Moscow for the best way forward for your clients looking to travel to any of our destinations. To give you a bit of an insight as to how things will change in Europe in the short term for travellers, well, sites are starting to open through June. Hotels are following through June and July. Face masks are compulsory in many countries in public, both inside and outside. So if it isn't really maintain social distancing in certain areas. COVID-free certificates for hotels will be required before they can open, and a lot will be reducing occupancy down potentially to 50% to allow for a thorough deep cleaning between guests' arrivals. Thermal imaging cameras at airports to detect high temperatures on arrival potentially will be the new norm. 14-day quarantine periods for travellers, certainly in the short term, for destinations not within a specified travel bubble or air bridge. These are the new terms that we're learning. But A&K will be at the forefront to make sure our clients are safe and secure. They'll stay within the A&K own bubble that we'll create for clients. So it's a long, slow recovery process. We're in an excellent place to provide you with a complete guide to what's happening across Europe, as we do cover 26 countries, as I said. So let me share with you here the current situation and the state of play in most travelled destinations in Europe, so some of the most popular areas. Good place to start with the UK. The lockdown measures are now slowly starting to ease across the UK, but we must maintain our social distancing of 2 meters at all times. Some shops are opening and sporting events will take place behind closed doors from the 15th of June. The biggest change for us really is from the 8th of June, when there'll be a 14-day quarantine measure for arrivals into the UK. So this is going to have a big impact on how to restart travel into the UK. There hasn't been a quarantine period all the way through the pandemic, yet the government decided to implement this from the 8th of June. So this is going to have a big impact, certainly in the short term, while this measure is in place. Ireland has a stricter lockdown than the UK. But they've got a 5-stage roadmap to reopen the country, which started on the 18th of May, with restrictions being eased every 3 weeks. And we'll keep you updated with what those restrictions are. But at the moment, there's still no travel into the country and doesn't look like it for the foreseeable future. Italy, in early May, some restrictions were relaxed and people were able to travel for longer distances. But from the 3rd of June, by opening borders to EU citizens without a quarantine is a big step forward for Italy. Bars and restaurants reopened on the 18th of May, but hosting reduced numbers of diners with tables further apart, plastic shields to separate customers. On the good side, some tourist sites like the Leaning Tower of Pisa opened on the 30th of May, So they're slowly making their way back to some sort of recovery. Same goes for France. Restrictions began to ease on the 11th of May, and the phase 2 of easing began on the 2nd of June, including the end of the 60-mile travel limit that they had. Bars and restaurants can reopen in the green zones under the phase 2, and outside areas are also able to reopen, so parks and gardens. Paris can finally reopen all its parks and gardens. The beaches have also begun to reopen under the tight restrictions as well, which is a good sign. Spain on the 1st of June moved to a second phase of so 70% of Spaniards now in Madrid and Barcelona and some of the regions remaining under tighter phase of restrictions. They're starting to ease that. So the state of emergency is to end on the 21st of June, restoring freedom of movement for the entire country. Bilbao's Guggenheim Museum became Spain's first largest museum to reopen its doors. But in all cases, it's running at a 50% capacity, which is allowed at the moment. Face masks again are compulsory for anyone aged 6 and above in public, both inside and outside, if it isn't possible to maintain social distance. From the 1st of July, people travelling from abroad, including tourists, will no longer have to spend 2 weeks in quarantine for arrival into Spain, which is again a great sign. So we're slowly seeing this ease happening through June and into July. So expecting by August with a little bit more normality across the continent. Into Portugal, obviously been very hotspot for quite a long time now. Portugal has had fewer coronavirus cases and deaths than some other areas in European nations, and therefore they're slightly ahead of the easing of the restrictions. Restaurants, museums and coffee shops reopened from the 18th of May, but at reduced capacity again. Hotels in the regions like the Algarve are hoping to reopen in June and July, but the country's borders remain closed to international tourists, certainly for now. I'm waiting for further information on that. In Greece, Greece has handled the crisis very well after shutting its doors in February. And as of the 1st of June, saw opening of sites and museums, the 29th of June, opening hotels. So travel to the islands resumed on the 25th of May for mainland Greeks, but not for foreign tourists. From the 1st of July, Greece is set to lift a 2-week quarantine rule for foreigners. So that's when we expect to see more tourists traveling into Greece from there. But due to the unpredictable nature of the virus, policies could change at any last minute. The potential risks, the rise of infections. So our ability to travel for leisure over the next few months will be impacted by each government's public health advice. So the trace and test capabilities, border protocols and social distancing laws in place. So we'll very much be watching this, and we'll keep you fully updated as the changes happen on a regular basis through all of the countries that we cover. But I just wanted to provide you with a quick snapshot of our most popular destinations today. So thank you for watching, and I will provide you with more information in due course. Thank you very much.